Infantry fighting vehicles are extremely important on the battlefield. They are intended for transporting personnel, increasing their mobility, armament, and security on the battlefield in conditions of enemy weapon use and joint actions with tanks in the battle. Ukraine has received many modern infantry fighting vehicles from Western allies, which has already made a difference. The Ukrainian military note that these are some of the best vehicles they have ever driven, and various videos from the battlefield confirm this.
Currently, soldiers of the 47th Separate Mechanized Brigade are defending Ukraine in the Pokrovsk direction. The footage shows a brilliantly executed evacuation of fighters and the destruction of enemy forces. The occupiers came quite close to the positions of the Ukrainian servicemen who were in the trenches. Then, a precise artillery strike with cluster ammunition forced the Russians to retreat. This allowed the Bradley IFV to arrive at the Ukrainian positions and evacuate the fighters quickly. Afterward, the IFV left the position, firing back at the Russians. This was excellent and coordinated work by various units, which saved the lives of Ukrainian soldiers.
Another example of the successful work of IFV Bradley. As we can see for ourselves, any weather conditions are not a problem for them. So what makes Bradley such an effective IFV? Here are some technical characteristics of this vehicle and reviews of the Ukrainian military.
The Bradley fighting vehicle is the main armored personnel carrier of the United States, adopted in 1981. Crew, 3 people. Landing, up to 7 people. Armament, 25mm gun, 7.62mm machine gun, BGM-71 TOW anti-tank missile. Over the decades, Bradley has been tested in the Gulf War, Iraq, Yemen, and Syria. However, it's in Ukraine where the vehicle was truly battle-proven.
Сама перша машина, що в бой заходила на нашому направлінні, моя. Заходили ми взводом, 3 машинами, я йшов перший. Танчик там ще був, урка. Кацапи в це время на нас теж, походу, не розуміли, що таке Бредлі. Почали спочатку стрілкового оружия по нас стріляти. Щоб ви розуміли, для Бредлі ми навіть не поняли, спочатку думали, що дощ почався. Потім позиція ікси, там була з іксів, почали на нас працювати мінометом. Перші попадання трохи нервничали, поняли, що теж машині по барабану. Машина їде, все, ніде нічого не відказує, якось бойовий дух дужче піднявся. Кацапи ліпили з усього, що хоч тільки можна, міномети, гради, фосфор. Я в кіно такого не бачив, звісно. Я вам прямо скажу, з 2014 року на війні таких мінних загороджень, як на Запоріжжі, я не бачив ніде. І були определені тільки участки, куди можна було їздити. Чую таке відчуття, що провалилися куди-то. Механ каже: Сань, не бачу нічого, не пойму. Земля якась, походу, в яму вскочила. Я кручу башню, прокрутив на 360 градусів, земля везде. Відкриваю люк, воронка від каба, і воронка така, що от Бредлі от при оцій висоті, от в акурат западліцо у воронки. Кажу: Сань, воронки, не знаю, виїдемо, не виїдемо. Акуратно починає вперед-взад двигатися і обламувати краї цієї воронки. Подимає Бредлі, отак становить його вертикально. Толчок такий тільки вперед, машина лягає, поїхали.
Дуже вона маневрова, заявлені характеристики по асфальтованій дорозі вона може 60 розганятися, по ґрунтовій 50, ми розганяли і більше. Складного зовсім нема нічого. Якщо є бажання, можна навчитися хвилин за 15, якщо є якийсь опит.
Снайперська гвинтівка серед гармат. Більше 2 кілометрів я можу побачити в приціл. Комп'ютер зрозуміє, що я буду працювати по рухомій цілі, буде гармату на випередження трошки вести. Він прораховує швидкість польоту кулі, щоб вона досягла своєї цілі.
Реально це найкраща робота в світі. Я не боюся, ні за що. Я уверен в усьому, цій техніці. Не то, що на 100, на 1000% уверен, що задача буде чітко виконана. І комфортно мені в ній, просто комфортно. Якби ще кондиціонер у ній був, взагалі ідеально було.
And this is the 20-year-old commander of the IFV Bradley, who has gone through some of the harshest places of the Russian war in Ukraine and is willing to share stories of his combat missions.
For a 20-year-old, Kach sounds wise and well-spoken, but 2 years of fighting leave a mark. He has experienced more than a normal human does in a lifetime. From assaults on foot, he was promoted to a Bradley commander. Usually, when a young man gets his first vehicle, it's a step toward independence. But for Kach, life didn't get any easier. As a part of the 47th Brigade, he participated in the Ukrainian offensive in Zaporizhia region in the summer of 2023.
I didn't fully understand Bradley until the first day of the counteroffensive. That's when we really put it to the test and learned what it could handle and what it couldn't. What it could hit and what it couldn't. Because it's so dangerous. The gunner and I sat there 3 times thinking, we're all done for. The end. But at the same time, we were laughing, and somehow there was no fear, because of the adrenaline. And then, and only then, you're like, where the fuck have I been? You need to be on the same page with your team. They not only have to listen to you, they need to understand you. When I work with my team, we're so in sync that I don't even have to explain everything. I can just say someone's call sign and they know what to do. If the team is good, the guys are good, and you feel comfortable with them, then you can take on missions that you'd never take on with a random team. It's from the latest mission. The Russians wanted to go on the offensive, but something didn't work out for them. From the 3 APCs that were on the way, 2 were hit. Only 1 was left. Desperate. We hit them hard and we finished them off. We were corrected by a drone, and the command was to destroy them completely. There were 4 fuckers who hid in the basement. After that, I think we found some documents there. One of them was mobilized on the 5th of March. 10 days ago? Yeah.
German Marders are also among the best representatives of modern IFVs, and let's compare them with the Russian BMP-2.
You cannot ignore the importance of infantry fighting vehicles in the current Ukrainian campaign. Deploying the troops on the ground, providing them with cover and direct fire support. And behind me, you have one of the best vehicles for this task. It's a German-made Marder 183.
The Marder has been a part of the German army since the 1970s. Originally designed during the Cold War, the machine has undergone significant modifications over the years. These IFVs have now made their way to Ukraine, where they are fulfilling their original purpose, engaging in combat against Soviet machinery.
First, it quickly identifies the enemy. Secondly, it engages the enemy very quickly.
Marders were provided to enhance the Ukrainian counteroffensive campaign. The real heroes are the infantry squads that storm the trenches. They require proper protection. The Marder's primary counterpart on the Ukrainian battlefield is the BMP-2, which is Russia's most commonly used IFV. Volodymyr, the gunner of the Marder, has experience on both of these vehicles.
The Marder identifies and engages the enemy very quickly. In the same time, the BMP fires 15 to 16 shots. A Marder fires 150 to 200, and you actually have to hit the target first from the BMP because it does not have such advanced aiming mechanisms.
But it's not only the rate of fire. When confronting the BMP-2, the Marder's 20mm armor-piercing rounds penetrate the hull of the BMP, whereas the enemy 30mm caliber gun cannot reach the infantry inside the Marder.
When you're advancing, facing an ambush from the side, and a machine gun is firing at you, you know it won't harm you. Even when a grenade is thrown in your direction, you feel no fear because the armor protects you.
Ukraine has received only 80 Marders, that's a relatively small number compared to Russia's hundreds of BMPs. But the confidence the Marder has provided to the troops is evident. Ukraine can only hope that in future more of these vehicles will find their way onto the battlefield.
CV90 is a Swedish infantry fighting vehicle. Some would say it's the best infantry fighting vehicle ever made, and others would disagree, so we went on a mission to find out how the Swedish CV90 performs on the Ukrainian battlefield.
It was hit by a Lancet, but it withstood. Similarly, we had a CV90 hit by an anti-tank mine. It was hit right in the side of the tracks, and the vehicle also withstood. The crew came out, of course, a little shell-shocked, but alive. And what's the most important thing here? It's life. In comparison, the BMP-1 that we used to work on was a tin can. And the CV90 is a reliable, good machine.
What's so special about this machine?
What's special is that the Russians put an extra large target on our backs. On these particular vehicles, as well as the Leopards and Archers, the Russians will deploy a T-90M breakthrough when they notice a CV on a combat mission.
One of the key features of the CV90 is its modular design, which allows for easy adaptation to various roles and missions. The most common is the AFV option, which is to transport fighting infantry safely across the battlefield. It is also this variant that has been delivered to Ukraine. According to the crew, it performs great with tasks like long-range attacks, fire support, assault missions, delivery of the assault troops and wounded evacuation. Adding to that, it's quite easy to operate.
Can a regular person drive CV90?
Sure. If I show you where the toggle switch is and how to turn it on, it has an automatic transmission. You can turn it on and drive. We work mostly at night, and we are barely seen in night vision cameras. If we're shooting at a target directly, we also have night vision. We have a laser to measure the distance to the target, and we can work from there. Basically for us, there's no difference whether it's night or day.
The 40mm autocannon on the CV is a powerful tool, and the units here have taught themselves to maximize its use. For example, to perform indirect fire at targets up to 7 kilometers away, something they didn't learn from their Swedish instructors. All of these features definitely put CV90 among the top-ranked IFVs.
It also matters a lot what kind of crew you have. I have a crew of a mechanic, driver, and gunner. Brave young guys. A lot depends on their motivation, whether they're ready to do it. What's your motivation? To liberate our country. To drive out the enemy.